I'm Lin.
And I'm Leo. Welcome back again to our 30-day challenge. You'll need a couple of foam pads and a belt here. If you don't have any yoga equipment, then just get a couple of cushions and a tie or a rope, something like that.
Okay, our first pose we're coming for is Uttanasana. So we came to this yesterday and we're coming back to the same action. So put your hands onto your pelvis, ground down deeply into those legs, spread your toes and lift through the front body. Strong actions, roll your shoulders back and down and open across the collarbones. Take a breath in and hinge forward. Come into the hinge in action. Now again, there are options. If you're joining us for the first time today, then have a look at the previous videos. We give lots of tips on how to come into this hinge in action and all the alternatives, where to put your hands in terms of the Uttanasana forward bending action. So placing your hands onto the floor, and again I will say if you are quite stiff, this will be a killer for your hamstrings. So you can put your hands onto your shins, or if you have yoga equipment, bricks, then you can place your hands onto a couple of bricks. This is absolutely fine. So be in this position, working the legs, pushing those shins back, drawing up with the kneecaps, drawing up through the thighs, and see that you lift your abdomen. You have to feed into the back of the thigh with Uttanasana. It takes a little while. This is why it goes so well with Adho Mukha Svanasana. So see that now you step back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. There is the option also to jump if you wish to. So Leo's just going to show you the jumping action. Good. And come into Adho Mukha Svanasana. So from here you have to see that you lift the whole of this back pelvis up. Don't let it drop. If it drops, you will go into your lumbar spine. Oh, that's not a great action. You've got to see that you lift up so much through the pelvis up towards the buttock bones. Open and broaden across the back of the thighs and see that the frontal creases move back. Go and reach in, press down strongly into the palms, get those, get the base absolutely grounded and strong, and breathe. Don't forget to breathe through the action. We're coming for Adho Mukha Virasana now, so some of you will be familiar with this. So bending your knees and reaching back onto your heels. So as you reach back into this pose, remembering some of those previous instructions, you see that you ground back into the back body, abdomen towards the spine as you reach forward. And let the head release down. So these poses and these sequences are really to get you up and going and to introduce mobility into the body. So just be here for a few moments, breathing through the nasal passage, extending through the arms, and remembering to reach up into the abdomen. So the abdomen needs to reach towards the spine, chest needs to extend towards the end of the mat. Just take a few moments, soft inhalation, soft exhalation. We're going to be coming in a moment for the leg lifts, Supta Padanga Shavasana, which we approached yesterday. And now we're going to come into 1 and 2. So Leo's just going to get ready. You're going to need to have a belt for this or a tie. Doesn't matter which. And there's some foam blocks here. Now you can use a cushion or a pillow, it doesn't matter. Having some support to the side of the hip, we'll show you how to use it, but it will be very beneficial. Alright, so coming into your supine action, making sure that you lengthen the lower back towards the heels. This is a really important action. Yes, this needs to happen. This needs to happen, this length and softening the abdomen. Okay, so like how we practiced yesterday, bending the right leg into the leg and straightening your left leg. Okay, so again, the emphasis is on this grounded leg. You're going to ground it down really strongly and get that action of stability in that lower leg. And then placing your belt or you can use a tie or a normal belt, doesn't matter. If you do have a yoga supplier nearby or online, then do use it and do use a belt. Very useful part of your kit. So again, be sure that you get in this action. This outer hip needs to go back so strongly. Now this is where the blocks or so the blocks or a cushion will be fine. You just pop it to the outer hip. This will keep your hips really nice and stable and this leg grounded. So taking the belt into your right hand and taking the leg over to the side. And remember that this hip needs to come back this way and then extending out to the side. Good. Very good. Okay, so you can rest it here. Now, this area, the sacral area, the lower back wants to lift up and go with the leg. But the most important thing is that you have to see that those back muscles soften and round down, opening the back of the knee, the leg so strongly, and then coming up out of the pose. So just going to show you what happens if you don't have that support in the very beginning, the body doesn't know, and you know, a bit of a rolling action. So we want to see that we're using the pose to create traction to open our muscle fibre in the lower back and releasing down with the leg. I'm going to turn this up around. Okay, so coming into Supine 1 and 2 to your left side. And again, be mindful that, we'll just pop these here. The softness and the action of the outer hip comes and the straightness comes into that lower leg and you ground down. Just be there for a few moments. And then taking your belt and placing it around the foot and straightening your leg. And again, as I said on the previous slide, this needs to happen, this action. So when there's quite a lot of congestion around the hip, around the lower back, these poses are really good to practice on a regular basis. So if you enjoy this pose, then practice it. You can practice it without all of the routine. It's a very good pose, particularly for athletes or runners or people who do a lot of exercise, then the hamstrings get very tight. Okay, so we're going to take the leg out to the side. And you saw on the previous slide, you've got to hook that outer hip back as you reach to the outer side, reaching. So, and again, use a cushion underneath that leg so you don't go too far. All of this has got to ground down. This leg's got to push down strongly. And again, it's quite useful to have your foot against the wall. That would help too. You can be in this pose for a few moments. Just breathe, soft inhalation, exhalation. You have to make sure that the area across the sacrum is grounded so that your right side of the sacrum is down. Very important action. And then coming back up. Good. And roll into your right side. So we're finishing our sequence today with Upavista. So this is a wide leg extension. We're just going to be sitting in this pose today. And when you sit in Upavista, you need to see that the spine is extending and lifting up. It's quite a challenging action. So you need to sit in the center of your mat for this pose.
You were going to demonstrate on your side, doing it without. We've got a couple of foam pads here because a lot of people find this a really challenging action, particularly athletes, because stiffness in the back of the legs, you will find this a bit of a challenge. So we've got some height here to sit on. Not everybody will need it. Some people, do you want to demonstrate with that?
Well, we have actually, yes, I'm quite happy to demonstrate.
Actually, yes, we have got a video, haven't we? Yes.
Yeah, that's true. So do go and refer to that. It's just the timing, because I know that we are trying to put out some short timing videos at the moment. So just take the legs nice and wide in this position. And then extending the heels into the floor. So you can see here that Leo is extending and grounding down with the legs, taking the hands down beside the hips. And then the most important thing is that you lift from the base of the abdomen, and that's the most challenging thing. It's quite often this area gets a little bit stuck, and you can see here it's really quite difficult. All the practice that we've been practicing over the last few days will help with this pose, and ongoing practice. So remember that yoga is about consistency. Get on your mat and practice on a regular basis, daily if you can. This is what this 30-day get up and go is all about, isn't it?
Quite. And it's getting that regular habit that will be very good for you.
Yes, definitely. And also when you feed your body with the yoga, your body expects it, and really that's a really good stage to get to. Okay, so just sit in this pose. And as we said previously, we have got a video with showing you the classic pose and also with the modified version with the prop work. So just sitting in this pose, breathing, broadening across the body, broadening across the upper body. So 2-3 minutes you can sit in this pose and make sure that you're lifting from the base and you're getting the extension. And we'll come to the end of our practice now, so bring those thighs together. Quite often we find in the classes when we sit for any length of time that people sort of make some really big grunting noises when they bring their thighs back together. Do you find that?
It's a challenging pose for a lot of people. So, you know, you can. The thing is, the more you practice it, the easier it becomes. Like most things in life.
Definitely. This brings us to the end of day 12. If you've enjoyed our videos, please do subscribe to our channel.
And hopefully we'll see you again tomorrow. Namaste.
Namaste.